right, let's get the cards out for June. Happy June. Let's do this. So the first card we have is the Hermit, a major arcana. I like that. The Nine of Coins, Ace of Cups, Eight of Staves, Five of Coins, Three of Swords, the Hangman. The Star card, major arcana. Hangman's major arcana as well. Six of Coins. Oh, the Chariot card, major arcana. Queen of Swords. I love this layout, except for the, Three of Swords. But, a lesson learned, and except for the Five of Coins. But it's all a lesson in life, right? So I have the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot cards. I'll start from this card and go all the way over. I meant to pick one, but I pick five for everyone, for all the 12 signs. We'll get the love reading in there and a little bit of the astrology that I feel is important from the last full moon at the end of May. And we'll find an animal spirit card to learn from our animal friends. So we have the Hermit card. And the Hermit card represents that solitude time, like really learning to be okay with being alone, Aquarius, by ourselves. And what can we do that when we're alone that can help us? And how will we spend that time? Okay, very powerful card, very powerful energy and message. And this brings us more wisdom and more clarity. We have the Nine of Coins, and this is talking about a person that's self-made. So really, what can you do for yourself, and how can you better yourself? And whatever you have around you that you've worked hard for, that you've earned, feel pride in that, be happy with that, be content with that, and being in the moment in every stage of your life, and knowing that what you have is considered wealth to others who have less. And that's when I think of this card. What is prosperity to you, and what does that look like, right? Ace of Coins is that God energy in the card, that divine energy in the card, that healing energy. So in this reading, it's like offering healing to oneself, right? And that like eternal wisdom. And how can you implement that in the first two cards, right? And then all the cards preceding, all the cards after. So Eight of Staves represent things moving swiftly, right? So when I get this card, I always say prepare, because there's a time where things are going to be going really fast. Okay, then we have the Five of Coins. And the Five of Coins is a feeling of being without. Okay, maybe feeling shunned. You can't get into the building. You can't get into a group or something. Feeling like you're on the outside. It's a card that represents feeling destitute, homeless, things like that. Okay, so it's like being on the outside. Then you have the Three of Swords, and it represents like a heartache. So maybe being shunned or not understood, is causing some upset, some broken heart. And then you get Wise with the Hangman. The Hangman represents that perspective, looking at things and saying, if something is not working, maybe it's not for me, and I need to be or go somewhere else. The Star card represents that life purpose, right? That destination of where you need to be, and what does that mean for you and your life, and really connecting that wisdom of the Hangman with the Star card, and then seeing where you can move yourself forward. Okay. And it's like that life purpose, where you need to be, what you need to do, and how will that change. Okay. Because sometimes we think it's one thing and then it changed and it can mean the other. And then you have the Six of Coins, and the Six of Coins is the giver can be also the receiver. So it's really having that balance of give and take. Okay. And in giving, we really feel more blessed, and it just clears the way. Okay. And in being able to receive, it also offers the same thing, right? Because some people are too proud to receive something, but all of their karma led up to that moment, right? So then we have the Six of in a positive way. It's like learning to give, learning to receive, and knowing the balance of that. So we have the Chariot card. The Chariot card represents the zodiac sign Cancer, which we'll get into later when we are looking at the Orisha cards, okay, or the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, right? So this Chariot talks about the process of the journey, and being a part, and I feel like it's being in the moment. of the journey of life, whatever that journey is, whatever that journey means to you. It's being in that moment, okay? And it's very powerful to enjoy the journey and the destination, everything along the way, take it all in, okay? And I definitely did that. Okay, and I wanted to get this all done, and I thought I'd be able to fit it in when I was away in beautiful Hawaii, but it didn't work out. So I definitely took in that journey, okay? So the Queen of Swords represents the knowledge, the wisdom, and then you speak. Knowledge, wisdom, think, then you speak. Okay, and the butterflies in the card reminds us of transformation. So finding the strength in your voice also takes a time for you to even meditate, even process, learn, and then have the courage to really um, use that in the highest positive way and be willing to change. Okay. So when it comes to the love reading, I would focus on, of course, the Three of Cups, and really what leading up to it is really not having a balance of self. So if it's a relationship, whether you're single or married, it's really not having a connection to yourself and really trusting your intuition instead of what you see, because sometimes what you see is not really what is the truth. So the Three of Sword card is next to the Five of Coins and the Hangman. So the Five of Coins lesson is being without what you think it is that you need, okay, or what you're used to. And the Hangman card represents that intuition, but it's more of your perception of things and you really being um, open to the wisdom of the situation, not just the superficial of any given situation, but being wise enough to actually see what the core problem is, the core start of it is, and what the full message of it is. And it doesn't have to be just one message, it could be multiple. And then saying, okay, you know, F that, I really can't make a difference with it, or, it is what it is, and really not taking on so much of the burden of what it is, but just realizing your responsibility in it, even if it's a small one, and then moving forward. Okay. So the New Orleans cards, so let's look at the meaning of that. But before I do that, the general meaning of these 11 cards that are laid out here is the main message is really looking within. I think that's one of the message. That's definitely one of the message, and it's learning from everything. Okay, I really think that's one of the other message. All right, so let's move on, and we'll come back to um, what I said earlier, which will be the Oshun card. So the first card, if you have the book, it's on page 66, and it's uh, Les Morts, which represents the dead. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So transformation, death. And it's all about honoring the ancestors. There's many ways you can do that. Light a white votive candle, get a glass bottle that's only for that purpose and putting water in it. You can do it once a month. You can do this whenever someone passes that you love and care about, just kind of praying for them, blessing them, and hoping that the transformation is a good and peaceful one. Um, and it also clears your karmic debt, your DNA ancestral karmic, any kind of negative energy there. So the card also talks about seeing life in death and death in life. And of course, another way, it's more the Chinese way, but a lot of people incorporate it into their practice, is burning ancestor money. And you can look into what that means and so on. Okay, so page 154 is about the Lasarine, the water, mermaid, ocean energy. It talks about the womb of the world, sacred songs, music, and spoken words bridging together. So the really healing sounds of spoken word and music together. You can use that as a spiritual healing, as an offering to create peace, even with ancestors and their journey and their process. Any kind of karmic DNA kind of attachment cord energy. Okay, the card also Lassarin also talks about the power of empathy, emotional connection, and marriage. All right. The next card is the hunter, that native chief of his or her land. Okay. So it's all about Ochosi, the earth energy, the hunter, the forest. And this equals getting things done. It talks about taking good use of what you have. Okay. Um, it looks at waste of time. How are you wasting your time? Wasting what you have. As an example, food. How do you waste food? We have refrigerator now. Are we buying too much food? Are we wasting it? That's a waste of our money. That's a waste of our energy, waste of our time. Um, it talks about time equals being in the moment. Like a hunter is in the moment, is more focused than most human beings. The hunter is closer in observation and everything to the animal because it's aware of its surroundings. How can you be more aware of your surroundings? How can you not waste your time? All right, so page 158, Oshun. Oshun's energy is all about love, okay? The earth energy, but it's a river energy, right? The sweet water of the river. Um, and with this one, the last full moon, Venus was in Cancer. And this is special because Venus is all about compassion. So, how can you be compassionate to yourself? Okay, how can you turn all that compassion to yourself? But Venus also represents love and money. And Venus has a fighting side like Mars, the war planet. So, when you love, how can you fight for that love and not in like a stalker, crazy girl, crazy guy way? It's more reflecting within yourself, that self love for yourself. How can money be looked at as a survival tool and not just a greedy tool, right? And how are you using it? And how can this kind of create more balance in your life, right? Oshun also, this popped up in my mind from a class when you were talking about feng shui in the home, right? Blessing the home that you move into. Even if you're building a new home, the land is old, right? So you want to honor and bless the land and so on, right? But if many people have used that mirror, you want to sage the mirror, Palo Santo, sweet grass. You want to say positive things in the mirror because so many people have looked in the mirror and kind of like, what they're running to work, they had a negative day, they're looking in the mirror, they're all depressed, yada, yada, yada. So you want to take time to kind of clear that in your own home. So you think of Oshun, she's a goddess of beauty, right? She's seen with a fan, a mirror, and the male um, peacock. The colorful ones are the male, right? So that female and male energy, okay, or that connective lover energy. All right, so the last card is Yameya. Yameya, the goddess of the ocean, the sea, and she's giving birth. She has a baby in her womb giving birth. So this is the power of beauty, ocean, water. And what I channeled from looking at this card is respect the mother equals love. What does that mean to you? How can you implement that in your life? Okay, that's the message that came to me. Very strong when I picked up that card and Ochosi and the Lesmot. Okay, so Yamiya, earth, but it's the sea, the water, energy. The pregnant Orisha equals giving birth. So what can you give birth to, and how do you think of life and giving birth, and just that exchange of energy and connection? Okay, so let's find the spirit animal. So what can we learn from the spirit animal, power animal, oracle cards? Oops. So let's get this card out. All right, Aquarius. We have rabbit, fertility. Your creativity is at a peak. So, however, whatever that means, your creativity is at a peak. Look up rabbits, like Google it, spiritual meaning of rabbits, and then see what it means. If you have this deck, then look up the meaning of rabbit, okay, and connect to that and see what words pop out to you and what words will stand out and what definition will stand out for you. So it will vary from person to person. That's why I always say you're watching this video, you're getting a reading, but then you also need to implement it and see what it means to you, because it's not a personal reading. Additional association with the rabbit: vigilance, abundance, right? Agility, and sacrifice. Okay. So vigilance, abundance. Enjoy this reading, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.